Honestly, here's what I don't completely understand about a lot of, you know, places that honestly say they promise a lot of money. Because they say, oh, you can make $1 million if you do a lot of networking and do like all this, especially if you start, trading, you start networking with people, or you start this little get rich quick scheming, you can make damn near almost $1 million. And that's the one thing that really does bother me, especially in regards to people who have barely nothing in their bank accounts. And here's the thing I don't completely understand about that kind of stuff. Why would you honestly claim that people honestly could make something that much when realistically there's honestly no proof outside of a bunch of job interviews you do? I mean, outside of a bunch of interviews you do, and quite frankly, basically just all the steps that you really claim people can make in a matter of like 12 months. That's not realistic, especially given the fact of where we are economy wise. Because realistically, most people don't even really make that much through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, just based on the common stuff they do every day. Because I imagine, realistically, all of it depends on how much a person makes, especially throughout the day. On top of realistically their day job, their their personal career choice, as well as what the heck they're really trying to go after at the end of the day. No get rich quick scheme on the internet is ever really proven. And I would argue realistically, most people that honestly bother doing things like OnlyFans only do it simply because at the end of the day, OnlyFans realistically only works because 9 times out of 10, the product you're actually selling to people, especially dudes, is usually just your body, especially if you are a woman, a very single woman or a very single mother who is just using your body just to sell product to people, which makes no sense, but it is what it is. I'm not going to criticize it because let's be honest, even if you make basically, I don't know, between $400 to $700 doing OnlyFans, you do you. If that's how you want to make money in this world, go for it. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to criticize you for it because that's how this world works. I just think at the end of the day, people should be given should I think there should be better ways for people to make money in this world instead of people trying to manipulate their way into saying, "Hey, if you follow my little quick financial thing by trading a whole bunch of money to these other companies, you'll make $1 million instantly." Yeah, no, that's not how the real world works. And realistically, all the people that they mention that make so much more money, you don't really get to see them make that process. Because realistically, you would have heard them as far as so called millionaires just by doing the so called digital currency. Same thing with the whole digital landlord thing. Because realistically, I've never done anything like that, and I have almost no experience in leasing at all. And trust me, I want to, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's hard to really believe a lot of the stuff that goes on in this world, especially when realistically a lot of it can be damn near deceptive, a scam, and people just being all around complete assholes. Because let's be honest, this world does not give a flying fuck about the people that are trying to make it on this planet. Because trust me, between the political strife you see almost every day, the politics that always go on every day, as well as the common everyday bullshit that go on in this world, it is not easy. And the world does not make it any easier whatsoever either. And realistically, I know that there's no real shining path that people can make $1 million in one night just by doing a blog and marketing yourself out in the world. Because trust me, you got to have, number one, a product that honestly gets people invested into that product. You got to give people a reason to want to buy that product. Like, for example, for me, I want to buy me a PlayStation 5 one day, and the only real reason why those things are the most expensive things on the planet and why it's so difficult to buy those things now is because realistically, yeah, there are some things like a chip shortage, and then there's also the cases that you got scammers, con artists, and all the people in between trying to sell the damn game console for about 2-3 times its original price tag, which realistically, outside of Sony and their bullshit, it is supposed to be roughly about, I don't know, between $400 and $500 at best. That's basically about realistically how much my rent usually is at the end of the day. And I think that is kind of stupid in my opinion. Although, realistically, I know that when it comes down to trying to do anything in this world, especially people following your passions, I would say at the end of the day, just try to do what you can on this planet. Don't be so quick to fall for every little common scheme out in this world, because yes, there are a lot of people who would easily dupe people into saying, hey, you can make from 0 to $1 billion in less than 3 months. 3 months using my little program. That's not usually true. Because realistically, I would argue the people that have done it at an earlier time where the financial market was 1,000 times better. Where it is now, I don't know. I don't know how it all works, and I don't know where everything is by technicality. But I do feel that people should be a little bit more attentive to financial scams instead of just following in on whatever they believe. Because trust me, there are a lot of people that will manipulate others just for their own financial gains, including those that try to be these self-made millionaires. Because realistically, most self-made millionaires are usually people that start off small or did a lot of networking and they knew people who knew people who knew people. Which, because of that, well, a lot of people ended up making a lot more than what they were honestly told throughout the whole thing. And I think that realistically, most jobs, no matter what it is, or most financial online gains, shouldn't be focused so much on what people believe they should be. And realistically, I think that my big problem with online jobs, or rather online financial stuff, there's no real, big incentive to say, hey, if you do this particular product, you'll make dang near this much money, that much money, that much money. And I think that realistically, that's not always the case. Granted, to the people that honestly did all that and managed to make money, congratulations. But at the end of the day, there's always a catch to these kind of things, because there's no real set way about it. And that's only because at the end of the day, every time I look this stuff up, yeah, it kind of does come off like a bloody scam or someone trying to manipulate somebody else, which is something I do not completely... Sorry about that. I don't completely understand myself, which I think that realistically, no job should ever really claim one thing or another. Because when it comes down to any job, when it comes down to any marketing ploy, there's a lot of time and a lot of effort you got to put into that, just like with YouTube, Discord, and any other site. Why? Because realistically, people don't go from 0 to billions of dollars unless you have a particular product or a particular thing you're trying to sell to people. And even though I will be honest about it, OnlyFans, realistically, I've never really seen anybody really make that much money off of it. outside of the simple fact that realistically you're just selling basically your body for most of it. And again, people do whatever they got to do to make money in this world. It's not easy at all. And I think that, in my opinion, I wish that honestly, I wish that realistically, especially for people like me who are struggling in this world, I wish it was a much easier way for people to make money or even make side hustles and make, tens of thousands of dollars a day just doing whatever it is they wanted to do. And it ain't that easy, I know, because that's not how the world works, and that's not how, things usually are in this world, because there's always a catch. There's always a catch 22 to all this stuff. Because this world likes to fuck with people as much as humanly possible. That's why it's never really naturally a case of how much a person can truly make in this world and how much they're really, really trying to make in this world, because it's never that easy. Every job, in my opinion, has a really big problem. Or every marketing job always claims that you can make a certain amount of money, but it's never really that true, because you don't see the people. You don't really see these people's methods working. They claim that you can, but it's never quite that easy at all. But that's all I wanted to say on that, just to finally get my 2 cents off of it, just to finally say something. So, bye-bye.